I love mountain biking with music, and for the past few years, my wireless earbuds of choice have been the ones by Jaybird Sport. Now, the audio quality on the Jaybirds is absolutely superb, but they are somewhat pricey. So lately, I've been trying some different earbuds made by Brainwavz. I'm kind of new to this brand, but these earbuds are at a much lower price point, about $40 for the Blue 300s. So in this review, I'll talk about the features of these and probably do a little bit of a comparison with a higher end earbud like the ones from Jaybird Sport. So looking at these up close, these have kind of a solid plastic and then the cord hanging off of that, as opposed to ones like the Jaybird Sport, which are just a cord. And there is an advantage to this, and I'll talk about that when I show these around my neck and discuss the fit. When not in use and you have these dangling around your neck, the earbuds do hold together with a magnet. On the side, you have your charging port, which is protected by a rubber cover. And what's nice about these is it does not use a proprietary charger. It takes a regular USB micro B charger. And by the way, they do include a charger in the box. So to turn these on, you would just hold down that button for a few seconds. You get a blue light that comes on, and you'll get a voice inside that says power on. The power button is also your play pause button, and if you get a call coming through, you can tap it to answer it. Volume up is here, and so you would just tap the volume up button however many times you want the volume to go up a level, and same thing with volume down. To skip a song, you would hold down the plus button for about 2 seconds, and to go back to the beginning or to a previous song, you would hold down the minus button for about 2 seconds. You can access the assistant on your phone by holding down the play pause button for about 2 seconds. You'll get a tone, and then it'll go right to the assistant, whether it's Google Assistant on an Android phone or Siri on an iPhone. And then to power them off, you would hold down the button for, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 seconds, and you'll get a red light that blinks letting you know they're going off, and you'll hear a voice inside the earphones saying power off. Like I said, when you put these around your neck, you can attach the earbuds with a magnet for walking around. However, because these hang down so low, they do sway back and forth as you're walking around. If you're not walking fast, it's not a big deal. But for running, I think they're going to move around too much. So if you're a runner and sometimes you like to have your earphones just around your neck, you would have to tuck them into your shirt so that they don't move around too much. Now let's talk about this plastic band. This is an advantage of these for me because some of the earphones that are just wires, they can kind of pull to one side, so the controller can kind of pull it and I have to reposition them. It'll kind of pull it out of my ears a little bit. With the plastic band, these stay in place, so they're weighted equally. So you can see on both sides, you've got the controller, and then this is probably the receiver, but they're the same size and the same weight, so they kind of stay positioned really well on your neck. I'm a mountain biker, and for mountain biking, that works really well. My wife is a runner. I had her try these, and she said that when she was running, the plastic band moved back and forth on her neck too much and she didn't like them. So I think it's going to vary if you're a runner. Now, for example, with the Jaybirds, you can pull the cord so that it kind of goes behind your neck so that it does not flop around you and you don't have as much weight. With these, you don't have that option. So you're going to have to consider whether or not that's okay for you. If you're a cyclist, mountain biker, even riding gravel, I think that's going to be fine. Now, if you use wireless earbuds going to the gym, you also have to consider this because this plastic band, if you're lying down and doing bench presses, will kind of fall back. Again, you're just going to have to consider that and decide if these will work for your specific application. Now let's talk about fit and audio quality, which go hand in hand because you have to have a good fit to have good audio quality. That will give you a good solid bass and also block out ambient noise. So these do not have ear fins like the Jaybirds, and so despite that, they do stay in my ears really well. They don't get quite the tight seal of earphones with an ear fin, and I actually do prefer the ear fins. Now, some people might like these because after a long period of time, those ear fins can put a little pressure inside your ear, so you got to kind of build up a little bit of a tolerance to them, whereas these, I think you won't have that issue with the pressure. And by the way, they do include different size ear tips to fit different size ear canals. So I just want to show what these look like when they're in my ears. Usually when I put in earphones, I will pull up on my ear to kind of get them seated inside. And even when I'm mountain biking, they hold pretty well. What's also nice about these in terms of fit is how the ear tip is angled in to kind of go inside your ear better. Now let's talk about the audio quality of these. I'll say it's decent. I mean, these are a $40 earphone that I've seen on sale for, $35. And for that price point, I think you get some pretty decent audio quality. They have very solid bass. And for working out, I think bass is pretty important. The clarity is not quite the Jaybird Sport. In fact, the Jaybird Sport clarity is quite a bit better than these. That being said, unless you're extremely picky about music, I think you're going to like the audio quality of these. Now, because the clarity is not as good as a Jaybird, you're not going to get bass that's as clear. It's a tad muffled, a tad bit muddy in the bass, but I don't think most people are going to have an issue with that. You do not have access to an app like you have with the Jaybird Sport where you can customize a built-in equalizer. With these, you would want to use the equalizer on your phone. And if you do that, I've found that keeping the bass fairly flat, bumping up the mids just a little bit, and then bumping up the highs a little bit more is going to give you the best audio quality for these. So to wrap this up, the Blue 300s by Brainwavz, I think, is going to be a pretty solid option for those of you who don't want to spend over $100 for a pair of earbuds like the Jaybirds. These have good audio quality. It's not superb like the Jaybird, but it's decent enough, especially for the price. I like the band for mountain biking. I like the non-proprietary controller. The buttons work really well. So questions or comments that you have about these, drop those below. If you've used these, I'd love to know your feedback on what you think. What application do you use them for? And how do you think the audio quality is? Thanks for watching.